Welcome to Week 5 of NFL Primetime. Can the Pack truly find the key to getting back on track? Or will it be Barry that unlocks the door to a win for the Lions? Will Emmitt Smith find the key to scoring his first touchdown? The Bucs have found the key to being undefeated. But is it in the cards? While the Bears only seem to have the key for losing. John Elway looks to be key in a win over Dan Reeves and the Falcons. The unbeaten Jags look to poke holes in the Redskins' game plan. The Steelers' key is for Cordell to open the door for a win against the Oilers. The Giants wish they could just find a way to stay on their feet as the Saints just try to hold on NFL Primetime. Welcome to Week 5 of NFL Primetime. Where's the inspector? I feel kind of alone out here this week. I'm Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson and Stuart Scott. And I don't know that I would call it scintillating football, but I would call it intriguing football in Week 5. That's for sure. First, let's get you caught up on those late games around the NFL. And there are 5 late games. The Oakland Raiders spotted the Rams a little lead, but they have it handily now. 35-17. There's a lot of time left in this game, about 12 and a half minutes. Napoleon Kaufman over 100 yards rushing. We'll have highlights later on. The New York Football Jets are suddenly a juggernaut. They have won 2 in a row for the first time in 3 years. They beat the Bengals on the road 31-14 as the Jets had 24 of those points in the first half. Good game going on at the Murph. A little over 2 minutes to go. The Chargers lead the Ravens 21-17. Tony Martin has 3 touchdowns in that game, if I'm not mistaken. All 3 for the Chargers. We'll keep you posted in highlights later on. Todd Peterson missed a 58-yard field goal at the gun that would have won it for the Seahawks. Understandable how he might miss it. They are now in overtime at Arrowhead. We will keep you posted. Chiefs and Seahawks tied at 17. The Bears led this 3-0. That's the good news in Chicago. The bad news is they no longer lead it. The Cowboys, 27-3 over the Bears, or it looks like Chicago, barring a miracle, would fall to 0-5 here at the 2-minute warning in Big D. The Jacksonville Jaguars have played 3 games. They've won all 3 this year, winning with 3 different quarterbacks, and the latest being Mark Brunell, to be played in the movies by Lee Majors as the $6 million man. Knee injury, no problem, comes back leading to a win on Monday night. But they're playing the Washington Redskins, who are 1-for-1 lifetime in their new digs. And as we've known over the years in football, time and time again, just 2 times actually, you can never tell what's going to happen at the Vanderbilt Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. Second game ever there. Gus for first game ever in the rain. Gus Farrat. Hold on to the ball, Gus. But hop on the bus, Gus. Don Davey with the hit. Kelvin Wilson Pritchett doesn't wait till the midnight hour, makes the recovery, but they only get a field goal. Then Dave Thomas, one of the McKenzie brothers, makes the pick of Farrat. But with the Jags up 6-0 again, the Jags are deep and looking for a touchdown. Brunell figures, as we switch sides and go early second quarter, I've got a touchdown. Jimmy Smith. But no, there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, great coverage by Green right there. Hugs up on him at the goal line. Smith gives him a nice shove, and too nice as the official was looking on.
While the Redskins' turnover problems continued, even with the dependable, albeit he's playing with a broken thumb, Terry Allen. Little dump pass from Farrat to Terry Allen. Look at him go. Getting the block over midfield. Could go all the... Whoop, 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 whoop. There's the ball. It's loose. And Travis Davis recovers for Jacksonville,
yeah,
Tom.
Chris Hudson with a great job here of knocking the ball out as Terry Allen's going down the field. Hudson also was the guy who returned that blocked field goal for a touchdown Monday night into the game.
Hudson punched the ball almost all the way to the Hudson. Skins nearly flawless after that. However, Farrat settles down. The naked bootleg to Leslie Shepard, looking very astronaut-ish, makes the catch. It's 9-7. What a beautiful catch.
Well, Shepard's feet. You're concentrating on the football. Does a great job of also getting his feet down right there, freezing them. Great catch.
Now about 1.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Farrat from the 8. It was tight end Jamie Ashes to Asher. A nice play. And the Skins all of a sudden lead at 14-9 at the half. Redskins defense said, you know what? We can make some big plays too. Richard had a big interception late in the second quarter. Richard Owens makes a separate. Can't find anyone. Where is it going? It's battered around, and Mark Shake Your Booty makes the play after Dishman breaks up the play. Then Terry Allen, 6 yards. Then Terry Allen, 7 yards, 36 carries for the workhorse, 122 yards. Brunell, Keenan McCardell can only look on. You're not going to win them all. As Farrat to Leslie Shepard, 9 post pattern, 13 yards out. The Skins win it by the count of 24-12. You know, the Washington Redskins almost won at Pittsburgh. They put together a pretty nice season thus far, Tommy, as both they and the Jaguars have 3-1 records. And I look at this last week, and I'm not trying to compare the Skins, the Jacksonville with the Colts, but, remember last week the Colts couldn't score touchdowns in deep against the Bills that came back to haunt them? Jacksonville in deep only got 3 field goals in deep 3 times it came back to haunt them.
Well, and certainly they had their problems on offense, but defensively, when I talk with Coach Tom...
As good as the best Holiday Inn.
Oh, you're back. Your toothbrush.
That means we're changing a lot more than the sheets. Holiday Inn, on the way.
Jumping Jupiter, what is this?
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack, George.
You could win communications for life.
I could win? Let's roll, let's roll.
It's the 21st century.
Win long distance, mobile phones, accessories.
And a free calling card just for coming in.
Win communications for life?
Don't even think about it.
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
NFL Primetime is brought to you by Holiday Inn Hotels. We're making every Holiday Inn as good as the best Holiday Inn.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Both the Tennessee Tuxedos and the Pittsburgh Steelers came into this game at 1-2, looking up 2 games in the standings before Jacksonville played. At the Jaguars, said, well, we can't fall any farther back. Well, Pittsburgh, of course, had a short week, but it was made a little bit longer by what certainly had to be a loud week for head coach Bill Cowher after that tough Monday night loss to the Jaguars. Eddie George against the number 2 rush defense of the AFC, and the Steelers showed him why, Tom. That's Joel Steed. And then here's Greg Lloyd.
Yeah, right there. The Pittsburgh Steelers do a great job of filling gaps. They're not only pass blitzes, they are combination run blitzes as well.
So George in the first half, 11 rushes for 31 yards. And Jerome Bettis against the number 1 rush defense in the AFC, same result.
Yeah, both of these run defenses have the ability to get upfield, get some penetration. Hard to get the running game going against that kind of penetration.
Well, neither running game effective with the bus kind of parked in neutral at 29 yards in the first half. So it'll be up to the passing game. Cordell Stewart says, maybe not pass. Let me run. He's got the speed. Whee! Into the end zone. 7-0 Steelers, 10-0 Pittsburgh after the first quarter. Second quarter, Steve McNair. He's still learning. Doesn't see Randy Fuller in the corner flash. That's a fumble. And it's Greg Lloyd. He could go. Oh! Whoa, it's a fumble, but my goodness, it stays in bounds. It's Jason Gilden. Like they diagram it, touchdown, or was it?
Well, Greg Lloyd does a great job here switching the ball over so he can stiff arm. The guy reaches right around him and knocks it out. A linebacker not used to carrying the pigskin.
But good call by the official, Thomas. It never did go out 17-0 the Steelers. Second quarter, Stewart to Mark Bruner, the tight end. Great catch, holds on. The headless horse, hats off to Bruner for the touchdown. Look at it again.
Yeah, Robertson with his hand in the face mask of Bruner. Bruner, a great job of turning around, focusing on the football, and then pulling it away.
So it's 24-3. The Oilers trying to come back. Big deficit, though. McNair, he shall be a Levon Kirkland, tips it. Then, look at this, Rodney Thomas. Get out of here to Kirkland. Kirkland actually made the interception,
Yeah, and
Tom.
Kirkland, a great pair of hands for a guy 6'1", 274, and we know now that Marcus can bench press 274.
Stewart rolls right. He can run it. Second rushing touchdown of the day for Jeff Fisher. He's played this team tough before, but they were great on the road last year, but this year they're 0-2. The Oilers 6-2 on the road last year, and they actually saw people in the stands. They saw 57,000 today, but not good enough. And the Steelers, that's their best performance by far this year, 37-24, and the score is not indicative of the type of game they had. And Cordell came out a little bit, Tommy.
Well, Cordell, we see him doing what he can do. He's running the ball some, getting into the end zone. He's throwing it a little bit. And I think once they got that lead, that helps out. No support from Steve McNair for the running game.
So the Steelers win it and even their mark at 2-2. When we return, Saints and Giants. Who knows what could possibly, well, you probably knew that might happen. Broncos and Falcons. Well, the Falcons wanted to make John Elway say hello to Dan Reeves.
When dealing with snow, nothing beats a Meyer snowplow installed by the experts, Great Lakes Truck Equipment. As the world's largest distributor of Meyer snowplows, you can depend on Great Lakes Truck Equipment for factory-trained technicians, utilizing only genuine Meyer parts, 24-hour-a-day service when it snows, and with pre-approved vehicles, 24-hour installation on new Meyer snowplows. So see the experts in snow and ice control, the name you've trusted for over 20 years, Great Lakes Truck Equipment, and mention this ad for a Meyer jacket free with pre-approved installations.
This is the new Cleveland Browns Stadium. Hey, and this is your family room. The new stadium has large, comfortable seats. So does your family room. Stadium has food. Your family room has food. The stadium puts you right into the action. So does your family room. Hey, boy, if you get your permanent seat license application in the mail by October 6th, you can get a seat in this stadium. After October 6th, you may never have a chance to buy Browns PSLs at these prices again. You will, however, get to keep your family room. And can I have your dog, though? Very nice dog.
America's fallen in love with hockey on ESPN. And those charming black and white commercials. Well, what's not to love? But now through the miracle of modern technology, ESPN will be entering an exciting new season with an exciting new look. It's going to bring the whole commercial thing into the 90s. The Detroit Red Wings will be red. The St. Louis Blues blue. The Blackhawks will be, well, black. It's exciting, and I'm excited. And the players, well, they're excited too.
Well, the Saints and the Giants. Who knows? But you know what? Give the Saints the nod, Stu. 19 turnovers first 3 games, none last week. Back to the bakery for them?
Well, despite none last week, they're still on pace to shatter their record for a season, which is 63. At this rate, they'll have 76.
Yeah, but they're improving.
Mario Bates was banking on long-term and short-term memory today. The last time the Saints and Giants smacked pads a year ago, Mario rushed for 129 yards and a touchdown. The last time Bates played, period, last week, Bro was getting his groove on. 2 touchdowns rushing, a career-long 74-yard run, and his first career touchdown pass. Hey, don't let those 1-3 records fool you. New Orleans and New York, 1-3 in the NFC in sacks. Here we go. Fossil and Dave Brown looking to break a 3-game skid. First quarter, second Giants offensive play of the game. Brown dumped by Winfred Tubbs and Wayne Martin. Why y'all want to go there, huh? Martin coming off a 4-sack game last week. TJ, they weren't done.
Yeah, one of the better pass rushers in this league. You take a look at him. Nice swim move there. Takes the pressure. Makes a beeline to Dave Brown and smacks him. She's got
6.5 sacks this year. 2 plays later, Brown sacked again, this time by the Turf. Oh, that Turf is a very, very good player. He had 2.5 sacks last year. Still first, no score. Second-year man, Amani Toomer, awaiting a Mark Royals punt. You know Toomer can flow. As a rookie last year, he brought back 2 punts for touchdowns in just 7 games. This one fields at his own 24, breaks right, peace. One man to beat, the punter Royals does not beat him. Still a 44-yard return, TJ.
Yeah, and Jason Sehorn here blocking for Toomer, and you watch right here, he comes across. Nice block, takes out 2 Saints.
Sehorn getting his on all day, 11 tackles on the day. The next play, Dave Brown and Kevin Alexander. What's up, big baby? 32 yards, he beat the All-Pro Eric Allen. 3rd career catch for Alexander. First career touchdown in his first career start, talking serious noise. Second quarter, 7-3 New York. Fossil's Club leads the league in red zone touchdown efficiency. Here's why. Howdy, 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 ho.
Howdy, howdy, ho.
Galloway, 4th leading receiver in the NFC, his 3rd touchdown catch this year, 14-3 G-Men. 4th quarter, 14-9 Giants. 3rd and 6 from the 40. Alex Moten came on the corner blitz. Brown coughed it up. Darren Mickle recovers. Brown dumped 4 times. Fossil needs therapy. Saints drive to the Giants 34. 3rd and 21. Heath Schuler's pass broken up on a nice play by Tito Wooten. 4th down, 3:45 left. Ditka decides to punt. After a Royals punt, Giants on their own 3. Tyrone Wheatley replacing the injured Tiki Barber. Tyrone only 49 yards and 14 carries all year. 13-yard gain here. 11 carries, 60 yards. You bleep and bleep. How in the bleep did you let that bleep go? Well, I think that's something, kind of what Ditka said. Giants win it 14-9. Chris, the Saints, 2 turnovers. Turnover thing up to 21 now. Callaway's touchdown grab capped a Giant season-high 84-yard drive. The Giants' 3-game losing skid, a thing of history. The Saints' 4-game road losing skid, a thing still going on. In the loss, Heath Schuler, 14 of 31. Dave Brown, 16 of 25, 194 yards, and those 2 Dave Brown touchdown passes.
Well, there you go. 2 TD passes equals win. That's nice when they can do that. All right, keep your eye on the bakery over there. All right, we'll see you a little bit later on, Stuart. That coughing up, that's good. That's good. I'm going to add that to my repertoire now. 10 years, Dan Reeves, John Elway, hooked horns and combined some impressive forces in Denver, 3 times making it to the Super Bowl, although they were rarely seen out to dinner together. 5 years since they each departed. Well, Elway didn't depart. Reeves departed in '93. But it was their first meeting since, as our good friend Stephen Stills would sing, that they changed partners. Here we go. Reeves, head coach of Atlanta, but these are the days of Denver. 92, their last season together. Now, new unis, coach somewhere else. Second place since. Giants first, Atlanta next. Terrell Davis goes off to the sidelines. Denver with 5 wideouts. I think they're going to throw, Tom. It's the Shannon Sharp, splitting the defense. 65 yards, touchdown, 7-0 B-men.
Yeah, 5 receivers in this lineup. John Elway, the only one in the backfield. You see right there, the inside receiver, Shannon Sharp, and he's going to get to the middle of the football field. You see the 2 deep safeties. That's where the hole is. He gets into the seam. A nice throw by John. And then John Elway again, vintage John Elway, as he spots the crease in the front 7, makes his way through the defense. Don't see him do this as much as he used to, and then gets out of bounds. It took me a long time to teach him that.
4th and 3 on the Atlanta 10. Denver gambles and goes for it. Elway to Willie Green.
The color of money.
Touchdown. And the Broncos, this is their kicker, Jason Elam, strained hip flexor on the previous kickoff, so they had to go for 2 every time they got down to the end zone and scored a touchdown, and Terrell Davis is fine. I'll make the 2 points. 15-0 Broncos. Atlanta having trouble moving the ball. But ensuing kickoff, it's the punter, Tom Ruin, kicking it off. Boots it out of bounds. You know who the backup field goal kicker was? The famous John the Toe Elway. They did not call on John to kick the ball today. Second quarter, 3rd and 5 Broncos. Inside the 15, Terrell Davis goes in for the score, 21-0 Broncos. And you know what they're going to do? It's the old salute. But Davis did not get 100 yards for the first time this season. Denver for 2. Well, 23-0. Similar play, Tom. Atlanta fans saying, you know, we need a lot of help. An empty seat back there. That was Mort's season ticket. 29-14 in the 4th quarter. Chris Chandler back to pass it by Ma Tanuvasa from Brooklyn.
Was he from Brooklyn?
No, he's from Hawaii. Chandler limps off in pain. The 3rd game he started but didn't finish. Very Chuck Wepner-like. Back up Billy Joe Tolliver under pressure. Look at the play to Jamal Anderson. What a good-looking young back. Makes the cut, shakes the tackle, let him go. Touchdown, 47 yards, 29-21. Hey, the Falcons are within 8. Same score, 3rd and 4, 4th quarter, Tolliver sacked, and then Alfred Williams, sacks him again. No, Alfred, you get 1 sack for that. After the game, Dan Reeves said hello. Well, Bags, Shannon and Dan Reeves. Barney Chavis still on the staff with Mike Shanahan. Gave Dan a big hug. And why not? As Denver wins it by the count of 29-21. And Tommy, did the Broncos, hey, look, they're 5-0. They've only been this way twice before. 77 and 86, both times they went to the Super Bowl. They're looking pretty good thus far. Did they lose interest today?
Well, I thought they were very sharp when they came out initially. They get the 23-0 lead, and for those who watched the game, you saw a shot of John Elway on the sideline, and after that 23-0 lead, he looked like he got a little bit disinterested, and I think maybe the whole team may have picked up on that just a little bit, but certainly they got back into the game just enough to get the win.
Well, John throwing for 243 yards, Shannon Sharp 6 catches for $119, and the Broncos headed toward the matchup with undefeated New England a week from tomorrow on Monday Night Football as we go inside the numbers. A lot's been made of John Elway under Dan Reeves and John Elway afterwards. And his numbers, certainly interceptions to touchdowns to interceptions, have improved drastically since Dan is there. But before you get carried away with every number you try and prove a point with, 3 Super Bowls with Dan Reeves, none thus far after. So just keep all the numbers in mind.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. www.visa.com.
Oh, those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everything's changed. Everything has changed. The Bucs, could they beat the Cards to go 5-0? And some things don't change. Barry Sanders, big game against the Pack.
Green Bay is a small town. When someone leaves here, it means something. It means the entire community's been diminished. It means an acquaintance, a neighbor, a friend left your life forever. Most importantly, it means there's now some extra seats available. for Sunday's game.
Well, it's awfully tough to get tickets from the Super Bowl champs. It's absolutely impossible with American Express. So bring your Visa card.
Go Packers.
The official card of the NFL.
Can lightweight aluminum cylinder heads enhance engine performance? Is it possible to see the future in a rear-view mirror? If race cars inspired us to use a double wishbone suspension, can you handle that? These are the questions. This is the answer. Dodge Stratus. Starting under 14.4, 18.4 impressively equipped.
They make football players look like tap dancers, hockey players like synchronized swimmers. And unlike baseball, when Joe Ball players get on a hot streak, they usually burst into flame. Joe Ball, feel the heat. Proudly sponsored by Coors Light.
Saturday, college football's elite take the field on ESPN2. At 12:30, Coach Paterno had his second-ranked Nittany Lions hitting on all cylinders as they steamrolled through the early season. Now they look to run over, around, and through Illinois. Then at 6, Arkansas looks to derail the Johnson to Green Touchdown Express when they wrestle the top-ranked Gators in the hostile waters of the swamp. Penn State, Illinois at 12:30, Arkansas, Florida at 6, Saturday on ESPN2.
Let's get you caught up on a couple of late games. It's a final. San Diego has beaten the Baltimore Ravens 21-17. Highlights later. 3.5 to go at Arrowhead. The Chiefs inside the 25, looking towards setting up a Stoyanovich field goal. They obviously still tied with the Seahawks 17-all. We shall keep you posted. A couple times each year we do a little educating at Bristol University here on Primetime. Last year we tried it with Rasputin. Hopefully this is a little bit shorter. The donut game. What is it? It's a game that a good team plays a good team one week. They play a poor team in the middle, the donut, and they're looking ahead to a very good team the next week. Usually, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are that bad team that teams look past. But everything has changed. Consider, last week, Tampa Bay went 4-0 and they beat Miami. Next week, they play the Green Bay Packers. And into town this week comes a team they should sit on, right? The Arizona Cardinals. It's very possible. But for the first time in Tampa Bay history, the Bucs had their own donut game. Did we explain that? I think we did. Couple of seats, couple of donuts at the Big Sunburr, but not many. And look at this. Altermon Singleton, Brock's punt by Jeff Philadelphia Eagles. 28-yard touchdown. They missed the extra point, but it's 6-0 Bucs, and they just continue to find new ways to score points.
But great job here by Singleton. You're going to watch him swim inside, take the step outside, come back in, and make a beeline to for the football and block it off the kicker's foot. Don't dive up in the air for the football.
Brad Culpepper sacks Kent Graham. Culpepper had 3 sacks in the first half. Then, Tom, well, let's see. What's going on here? Kevin Butler was going to set up a field goal. Now he split to the left.
Fake field goal. You can see 2-on-1 at the top of the screen, but no, they are running the ball very card-like with Eric Swan.
Eric Swan running the ball with one defender on 2 receivers. Well, Tommy Barnhart. Oh, those tricky Bucs. Barnhart opens the barn door to Tony Bowie. Ziggy Stardust, 25 yards for a first down. Trent Dilfer to Riedel Anthony. The rejuvenated Bucs really struggle on offense, but it's 15 yards. 6 plays later, Dilfer, Anthony, touchdown. They try for 2, don't make it, but it's 12-0 Tampa Bay, despite the fact that the Cards had the ball for 20 of the 30 minutes in the first half. Vince Tobin says, what do we have to do here? Well, they've cut it to 12-10. Here's what they have to do. Get Aeneas Williams to step in front of a Dilfer pass, and he's gone. 42 yards, 2-point conversion after it's 18-12 Arizona against Tony Dungy, whose team trying to stay undefeated. 18-12 Cards. Kevin Butler did not do it from 43 yards. Score stays at 6. Remember it. Just under 5 to go on a 4th and 6. Dilfer to Carl the Truth Williams. Has a half a step. Goal needs 31 yards. The Bucs lead at 19-18. Then Tampa Bay trying to stall things. Mike Allstott, he's tough even without a helmet. He's Ichabod Crane. But the Cards force a punt. Would Kevin Butler get another chance? 3rd and 6, 22 seconds to go. No timeouts to go. Graham to Frank Sanders. Look at him make the play. Frank Sanders is running into field goal range, and he's out of bounds. Butler, 47 yards. It's never had a chance. Things are new in Tampa Bay. That towel's old. It's been 18 years since the Bucs started 5-0, and they won the NFC Central. They are now 5-0, and the Bucs beat the Cardinals by the count of 19-18, despite the fact, Tom, that the Bucs got only 100 yards passing from Dilfer. They had only 147 yards overall in offense. They made only 6 first downs, so really give Arizona credit for bottling up Alstott and Dunn in a big way, but I think we have new scripts here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, don't we?
I believe we do. And you go all the way back to last week, Tampa Bay playing the game without Warren Sapp. Their defense steps it up a little bit. They win the game. Today, almost nothing offensively. A couple of plays here and there. Defensively, they had their problems, as you noticed, by time of possession. But special team steps up today. You get the block punt for a touchdown, a fake field goal for a first down. So now the Bucs finding a way to win games that you might think they would lose.
Yeah, things have changed at Tampa Bay, that's for sure. The donut game. Did I tell you about Rasputin? Oh, that was another show. Bears and Cowboys. Would Rick be wallowing in the mire? And the Packers in line. Would Brett throw from his knees? Not a great idea.
If you expect your people to start thinking out of the box, they need to stop working in one. Hayworth, furniture for what's next.
Hey, Coach, you ready to play today? I-24. I-24. Oh, 73. Oh, 73.
This is it. This is it.
I-16. I-16.
Bingo! Bingo! I got bingo!
Get real.
Mogo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
Ready for the next game?
The computers become a stage for the entire planet. Better get a good seat. Hayworth, furniture for what's next.
New track. New rivalries. Newly crowned points champion. California 500, tonight at 8 on ESPN.
It's a final now at Arrowhead. The Chiefs have gotten a 41-yard field goal from Pete Stoyanovich. They've beaten the Seahawks 15 of the last 16 times in Kansas City, 20-17 the Chiefs. Highlights coming up a little bit later on. The Green Bay Packers are the defending champions of the NFL, and they scored a boatload of points, 38 last week against Minnesota. The Detroit Lions were crushed by the hapless New Orleans Saints. So Green Bay is at Detroit, but you figure still this game had to be easy. That's why they play the games. Here we go. Reggie White tries to inspire his teammates before the game. First quarter, 3-0 Packers. Brett Favre back to pass. Free play, though. Offside Detroit. Robert Brooks had a big game, 34-yard game. 3 plays later. Favre to the end zone. Where's it going? Is that the #1 draft pick, offensive lineman?
Well, Verba does a great job here. The tackle eligible. He gets his hands in. He pushes off rather nicely, but he just can't quite get to the football.
Ross Verba, the tackle eligible. Favre's pass then. Boing, chip, picked off by Reggie Brown on his band of renown. What kind of football is this, Tom?
That's dwarf football.
He's throwing from his knees. 7-6, the Lions lead it on Brown's birthday. Later in the second quarter, Barry Sanders gets the handoff. Jukes, jive, gone! 46 yards, almost gone to the 4-yard line. I fooled you. Sets up a Lions CD to make it 14-6 Detroit. Still second quarter. Favre back to pass. A very scary moment. Don Beebe crunched by Mark Carrier and Stephen Boyd. Here's what happened. Beebe got hit hard in the head first by Carrier. Then Boyd wrestles him down. No flag, nor really should there have been, although unbelievably scary. Beebe didn't move for several minutes. He was unconscious. Mike Holmgren, everyone in the stand silent. The good news, he regained his consciousness later. He's expected to be released from a hospital later on tonight. Everything moving, all the limbs are fine, all his faculties are there. Very good news for Beebe. Meanwhile, Ryan Longwell hit 3 field goals, including his 50-yarder. But Bobby Ross says, you know what? I think the Packers had one too many men on the field, sir. Really, if you count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12! There were 12 men on the field! When have you seen Bobby Ross like that? But he didn't get the call. Keep that in mind because Ross would boil. First, Favre to Antonio Freeman. Favre over 20,000 yards, only Dan Marino faster. Then, Favre to Brooks. And this got Bobby's ire up. Big hit by Carrier. Penalty 1, unnecessary roughness. Using the head. Penalty 2, automatic. You take your helmet off to argue with the official. So, 2 major penalties sets the Pack in business. But they couldn't capitalize, Tom. Dorsey Levens was not in the mood. It's a fumble. Robert Beetle Bailey strips the ball. The Lions recover. Mike Holmgren says, wait a minute. This is red zone. I thought we had this down. Late third quarter. Mitchell to Herman's Moore. Jumping catch sets up a field goal. Lions lead 23-15. Jason Hansen at 4 field goals. Barry Sanders. Many of his impressive runs today were in the scorebook short runs. 3rd and 3. He gets 4 yards. Like, look at this 5-yard run, Tom.
Yeah, this is the tough yards at the end of the game that takes the pressure off the quarterback.
Well, Barry Sanders got many tough yards, and the Packers, for the second time this year, are on the short end of the stick. The Lions win it by the count of 26-15. Barry Sanders, 28 carries for 139 yards. Didn't quite get the 160 that we talked about today, but the Lions get the win, and in the process, Barry Sanders has passed Franco Harris into 5th place on the all-time rushing list. The great Jim Brown is well within reach, as is Tony Dorsett. A huge season to get him even past Eric Dickerson by the end of this year. But it's 26-15. And Tom, we have not seen the Packers play a complete game all year.
Well, I think certainly almost every week now the world champions are having to deal with another problem. It was the red zone up to this point. Now they're starting to put the ball in the end zone as of last week. But I think that when you start looking at the problems, no team can turn the ball over the way the Packers did today and expect to win. And then you have the problem with the receivers. Once you begin to take the kind of shots that we saw them take today, they're going to begin to peak and look for the defensive backs, which means you're not going to be able to look for the ball. And I still think they're a team, Chris, that's vulnerable to the run. And against Barry Sanders, obviously, that's not a good thing.
No, not good at all. Now, Tommy, if we looked at the schedule in middle of August and we saw Week 6, let's see, Tampa Bay at Green Bay, New England at Denver.
That's correct.
3 of these teams will be undefeated. Which one won't be?
That's right.
I don't think many of us would have said, well, the Packers, obviously the team not undefeated in that group. No. But they're 3-2, and the others are undefeated. As we roll on, late action, Rams and Raiders. It's not in L.A. What happened in Oakland? The Jets, the juggernaut Jets, at Synergy Field against the Bungles.
Can I carry this to your car?
Sure. So, want to take this baby for a spin?
Sure. Mind sitting in the back seat?
No problem. You wouldn't believe the legroom back here. It's like a plush couch. You can't do that with anti-lock brakes. Hey.
Hey.
So who's the guy in the back?
That's just Randy.
Hey, how you doing? Good-looking kid. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're cruising in one of the smoothest V8s ever made. You look really pretty. Hey, you two ever think of having kids? Childproof lock. Just thought, let you know.
Hi.
Hi, 2.
3.
Dick, the creator of Miller Lite Advertising, has great news for all football fans. This year, Miller Lite is an official beer sponsor of the NFL. That means that this season will be better than last season. Remember that woman with the huge hair who sat down in front of you while you were trying to watch the game? Well, that's not going to happen this year. Dick says, if you like that, you haven't seen anything yet. Stay tuned.
It's Madden 98, talking patented moves Madden style, like the Reverend Swim, Motown, go.
Let me see. The Sanders Whirly Gig?
Or Lloyd's Leveler, the Junior Say Uncle.
The Berry Good. The Sanders Six Machine. The Scary Barry. And,
let's not make up our own nicknames. Barry.
See ya.
See ya. Give me some moves. 1-888-MY-HOUSE. We're talking signature tattoos, signing your name in mud. Madden NFL 98, the ultimate judge. EA Sports. It's in the game.
The Jets and the Bengals. Bengals expecting to contend. The Jets hoping to be good this year, but, well, Boomer, Bruce Coslet, Jeff Blake, all ex-Jets. 7-0 in the second quarter, New York. The New York Football Jets. Blake, pump fakes to Carl Slim Pickens. Touchdown, 50 yards. We're tied at 7.
Yeah, and Carl does a great job here of using his frame. He high jumped 7'2" when he was in college. You look at him get up and make the catch over the shorter defender.
Well, Bill Parcells says to Raymond Austin, jump! Van Halen. 7-7, 4th and 4. The Jets are going to fake the field goal. John Hall rolls right. But you know what? That crafty Bill Parcells on 4th down. The Bengals call for holding, so they get the break. Drive continues. Adrian Morrell gets the block. 12 yards. Touchdown. Huge day for Morrell. 17-7. Jets. Less than 2 minutes left in the first half. Blake on the run. Throws behind his receiver. Ball again to Wayne Corbett. Keeps the drive alive. But you know what? With 20 seconds to go, why did you throw him the damn ball? Keyshawn Johnson, 13 yards, touchdown, 24-7. Jets at half. Morrell, 8 yards up the middle. A power-packed back. Jets would miss a field goal, but still lead at 24-7. And then some defense.
Yeah, Jets defense stepping it up. Rick Terry here fighting his way through and putting Blake down for an 11-yard loss. Then Blake again flushed out of the pocket, and Chaz Cascadden here running him down. Jets defense showing a little speed to the outside.
Bruce Coslet loses for the first time at home as Bengals head coach. And let's see, there's Weeb. So 2 weeks ago, the Jets played Pete Carroll, one of their ex-coaches. This week they play Coslet. Next week, Weeb. The week after, Charlie Winter. Then Lou Holtz. We go on and on and on. Hey, Tom, the Jets, 31-14. Adrian Morrell, 40 carries for 156. The 40 carries ties a team record set by Johnny's Hector.
And certainly makes for a good game plan. Anytime you get that running by Morrell, it makes it a lot easier on every other phase of the offense.
The Jets, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Football Jets are 3-2. They have tripled last year's win total, and it's still September. When we return, they win overtime. The Chiefs and Seahawks of the AFC West. The Ravens, could they win 3 in a row on the road, over the Chargers level them? And the Cowboys, they make life miserable for their ex-friend and ex-defensive mentor, Gabe Wannstedt. We'll be back.
I like teaching because I like to see the look on students' faces when they get it. I like to see them grasp a difficult concept and...
Back to you, Chris. Back to you, Chris.
They put on their game face. Inspect the equipment. And check every last detail. Use mineral for tap.
Tap. Let's just stay focused.
Their mission, to give sports fans a primetime alternative to sitcoms and messy hospital dramas.
On to the wild AFC West, and certainly was wild, and fans got a little extra bang for the buck today at Arrowhead between the Seahawks and the Chiefs, too.
Yeah, the Chiefs have, like, owned this series. They won 11 of the last 12. People think somebody owns the Seahawks. It's the Chiefs who literally own the Seahawks. When Neil Smith left, one half of the most potent sack tandem of the last decade, the Chiefs soothed Derek Thomas with a defense structure just for him and a brand new position, Falcon. DT with his eye on Mark Gastineau's 1-year sack record, 22. DT yelling all year in camp, Falcon gonna fly. Falcon's wings got clipped. Torn tricep muscle. Thomas missing his 3rd straight game. Uttered, Derek, this is the hardest thing I have ever done. His 3-1 Chiefs hosting the 2-2 Seahawks. Dan Saliamula facing his old team. Elvis Gerback, tough first half. 2nd 2, Gerback trying to be a player. Darrell Williams, a player hater. Williams had 3 picks last week. AFC leader returns this one to the 46th. 4th of the year, 1st and 10 for the Seahawks. Warren Moon looking for a radar lock on Joey Galloway. No diggity. Galloway's 19th career touchdown. All of his touchdowns, he averages over 42 yards per play, but he would hurt his right leg on the play, would not return. Chiefs driving, 1st and 10 from the 18. Gerback over the middle. Picked off by the former Jim Thorpe Trophy winner, Benny Blades. 13th career pick by Benny. Gerback's 2nd interception of the 1st quarter. 3rd one, Marty Schottenheimer with the play. Elvis has left the pocket. Bootleg. Elvis goes 20 yards. He had 30 yards his first 2 carries. Wisely ran out of bounds. 2nd and 2. Marcus Allen, Brick Muffin, little something kid. Oh, that's absolutely ill. Career rushing touchdown, 114, TJ.
Yeah, you take a look right there at Derek Alexander, who got sealed. Michael Sinclair on the right side.
3rd quarter, 1st and 10. Gerback hits Greg Hill in the flat. Hill gets down to the 2-yard line. Talking about raising the roof. He got stuck several times, broke a lot of tackles. 1st and goal. 57-year-old Marcus Allen at it again. Up and over 115 for his career rushing touchdowns, more than anybody. Chiefs up 14-10. Seahawks come right back. Moon deep to James McKnight. Wide open. Dale Carter got back. Warren, 260th career touchdown. He would have tied Elway, but Elway had 3 today, so he doesn't tie Elway in the all-time list. Chiefs ball 3rd and goal. Gerback with the play, fakes to Allen. Benny Blades goes unblocked. Sacks Gerback. Chiefs settle for the field goal, 17-17. Seahawks ball, 47 seconds left. Moon hands the ball to Lamar Smith, one of the best runs of the year. Breaks 1, 2, 3, 4. Carrying people, 5. Lamar Smith, huge. He had 90 yards up to that point, TJ.
Well, Chiefs concentrated on trying to strip the football instead of tackling.
Marty was ticked. Field goal to win it by Todd Peterson. We're going to the extra frame. On the coin flick, Sally Amula, the former Chief, they asked him to take a pay cut. He said, they cut him. Yes. Seahawks ball, nothing would happen. Later in the overtime, Seahawks 1st and 10. Moon again, picked off by Jerome Woods. Chiefs ball. 3rd and 2. Gerback hands to Allen. Up and over again, 1st down Chiefs. Pete Stoyanovich. You think he's nervous? Chiefs fans, what? Where you going? Stoyanovich, 41-yard attempt to win the game. It is all good. Chiefs in overtime beat the Seahawks for the 12th time in the last 13 games. Gerback left the pocket. He was also 24 of 38 for 274 yards, 3 interceptions. It didn't matter. Marcus, I think Marcus is now 60 years old. He aged like 3 years since we've done the highlight. 19 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Warren Moon in the losing effort, 19 of 26, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the interception. Ravens, Chargers, here we go. 1st quarter, Chargers up 7-zip. Vinny Testaverde and the Ravens driving. Testaverde looking for Jermaine Lewis. Rodney Harrison, who leads the team in tackles. The team defensive MVP last year, rocks Jermaine's world. Face down, TJ.
Yeah, leads the team in big hits as well. Returned a touchdown interception last week.
Absolutely ill. Chargers get the ball back. Stan Humphries hooking up with Eric Metcalf. The former Texas track star, 3rd in the NFL last year in total yards. Serious speed. Got walked down here, but got it down to the 10-yard line. 2 plays later, Humphries looking, finds a man. Wrong man, Antonio Langham. Remember Antonio? He took an interception back for a touchdown in the '93 Sugar Bowl for Alabama, but Humphries would get his revenge. 2nd quarter, Tony Martin. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Tied for the AFC lead last year with 14 touchdown catches. He had none this year until this game. That was his 2nd of the game. What got him open, TJ?
Well, you take a look at Donnie Brady, spot shadowed right there. He comes up, he thinks he has the running back. You can see he's already covered. And this is what happens when you miss the defensive call.
That made it 14-3. Bam Morris, 1st game back from a suspension. Dragging folks. I think he dragged the whole team. Then 7 plays later, Testaverde looking for Jermaine Lewis. Money, 37 yards and a touchdown. Vinny's 10th touchdown pass of the year. 2-point conversion put the Ravens up 17-14. Chargers on their own 47. Humphries looking at Terrell Fletcher. Fletcher looking for the 1st down. Gets the 1st down. Fumbles the ball. Or does he? Refs rule no fumble. Ted Martraboda beside himself. Livid. You see 2 Teds right there? That's what you call beside yourself. 1 play later, Humphries to Martin. You know Tony Martin was like butter because he was on a roll. His 3rd touchdown of the day. 2nd career 3-touchdown day. He had 3 at Oakland last year. Martraboda still doesn't like the call. And the kickoff, Jermaine Lewis finds a seam. Jermaine Lewis, he got decked early in the game, but he's gone. Psst, Jermaine. Psst. Bring it back. Flags everywhere. Illegal block in the back. No touchdown. Chargers still up 21-17. Next Raven possession. Ravens on the Charger, 35, 3rd and 20. Vinny's pass right through Ryan Yarbrough's hands. Would have been a 1st down. 4th and 25. Testaverde. Hit as he throws. Pass. Picked by Dwayne Harper. Chargers hold on to win 21-17. Or you could say Tony Martin, 21. Baltimore Ravens, 17. Martin for the day, 4 catches, 155 yards, and those 3 touchdowns. Bam Morris, 17 carries, 81 yards. Humphrey, 17 of 26, 358 on the day. He did throw 2 interceptions, but, you know, when you throw 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions is an extremely insignificant thing.
Oh, when you win, you know, how about Teddy and Bobby Ross going wild? Wow, I told you that. We told you this was a wild, wild day. All right, Stu. Well, Dave wants that. He would like to go wild. He was very much responsible for the Dallas defense when they won their first Super Bowl in this era in 1992. It helped get him a head coaching job at the Chicago Bears, but that's a while ago. Remember, he upset the Cowboys a year ago on Monday Night Football. So, could he show his old players new tricks once again? Well, the task was tall because Troy Aikman trying to cool off. The Bears, though, with Dave Wannstedt playing defense, fired on him.
Well, he was under pressure the entire first half. That was Flanagan hitting him low, then Flanagan again on the blitz. The Bears blitzed on almost every down during the course of the first half, and then we're going to take a look at Brian Cox working his way up the middle of the field and chasing Aikman down outside the pocket. And then finally, Emmitt Smith right there, spot shadowed. You're going to see them keeping him in the block, and Nate Newton actually misses his block. And again, Aikman under pressure.
Well, Emmitt also had a rough half. Carl Simpson, the Simpsons, trips him up for 1 yard, and then the dance for 1 yard. Hey, you got to give the Bears credit. They played very good defense. Spellman wasn't there. The Bears led it 3-0, and in the first half rushing yards, the Cowboys had nada, not a thing. The Bears at 91. Late in the second quarter, Rick Meyer picked off by Kevin Smith. You're running the ball. Oh, no, you threw it. You're down at the 6, 2 plays later. Aikman. Here comes the blitz again, Tom. But he gets rid of it to Anthony Miller, who makes the cut at the 3. 7-3 Cowboys at the half. 10-3 Cowboys midway through the third quarter. Aikman, Urban. Michael makes the catch for 26 yards. 2 plays later, Barry Minter played a big game, and he comes in for the sack. Next play, blitz again. Troy's ready. To Urban on the seam, beats Walt Harris, 26 yards, breathing room, 17-3. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Deion's going to take the punt at the 17, and guess what happened? Bust up the middle. Look at him go! He knows he's gone! He goes all the way! 83 yards! Cowboys beat the Bears 27-3, despite that slow start. Despite 12 of 27 for Troy Aikman, Emmitt still looking to get in the end zone for the first time this year. The Cowboys win it, and they up their mark to 3-1. The Bears finally hope they get what is to be a breather. Play the Saints next week. They're 0-5. Well, Rams, Raiders. Neither playing in L.A. Randy Newman not there. It's St. Louis at Oakland. Dick Vermeil, 17 years ago, coach of the Eagles, lost to the Oakland Raiders. 27-10. This is Tony Banks. Darren Lang, 14-0 the Rams. Jeff George picked off by Keith Lyle. George nailed big play. Instead of having the ball, it's a penalty, Tom.
Well, and George under pressure and gets that shot right there on the back, and you can see the back of his head hit the ground.
So it negates the interception. George and James Jett. 8 yards, 14-7 the Rams. Then Banks with the lead. Late second quarter. Where's the throw going? Picked off by Eric Turner. He returns it 15 yards into St. Louis territory. 3 plays later. Although it's 2nd and 20, George from the infield to the outfield. Ricky Dudley holds on. Touchdown. 34 yards. They missed the extra point, so the Rams still lead, but now it's just 14-13.
Yeah, and Leo Araguz, it was a good snap. He couldn't handle snap. We've seen a lot of that this year. He comes out looking to make a play on the run, and it's not going to happen.
Tell him, don't Araguz with me. I'm trying to make something happen here. Banks, back to pass. He's trying to make where is this going? Eric Turner picks it off, and he's all the way to the 15-yard line. Banks, 24 of 49, but picked off 3 times. 2 plays after the pick. George. Stumble and Jett. James Jett. 13 yards. Raiders are going to go for 2 once they get him back. 2-point conversion. George. To Harvey Williams. Left flat. 21-14. Still third quarter. We go the ground route. Napoleon Kaufman. These are two of his over 150 yards. We wanted to show you two that got him pay dirt. But how about the Raiders spotting the Rams? 14 points and going on to beat them by the count of 35-17. Jeff George with 4 touchdown passes now has 13. That leads the league. Kaufman over the 500-yard mark because he was over 150 today. As you see, well, he was close to 150, 149 yards. And so the Raiders can certainly ring up the points. The last time the Rams and Raiders met in Oakland, 1972, John Madden coaching against Tommy Prothro. That's a while ago.
I played during that era.
Yeah, I know. The Dallas Cowboys, aren't they on paper, Tommy, they win 27-3. Not cohesive yet on offense, are they?
Well, I think until they get Emmitt Smith fully involved in the running game, and that means Nate Newton and company moving people up front so that they can clear some space for him so he can bring that average per carry up to somewhere between 4 and 5 yards. I think you credit Troy Aikman with being very, very tough today because as the Chicago Bears brought the pressure, it wasn't necessarily to keep him from throwing the ball, but to knock him down every play. He showed a lot of toughness. But I think over the long haul, you cannot have Troy Aikman taking the kind of hits that he took today.
And they know that, but the Cowboys win it. They are 3-2. We've got plenty to come, including game balls and, well, some new recipients of our game balls. One with a little bit of electricity.
Coach, right over here. Well, that was quite a surprise, allowing a wrist guard to do a 6-step rush receive into the drop zone.
Well, I tell you what, this Boston team, they're tough, but, toward the end, I knew they were faking.
How?
I hit them with a spectrograph gun. They're like thermals. They're sunspots, about 127, 128 degrees.
So you knew they were ready for a Coors Light?
Oh, yeah, the Spectro didn't lie.
Well, of course, it is the only beer that's frost brewed to really cool down that thirst. Anyway, 28-second warning, no timeouts. Congratulations, Coach.
After what you said about my gland problem? Not tonight.
Back to you.
In racing, the engine is everything.
What? It's the driver.
A driver will never see a finish.
You buy 1-800-COLLECT, the way we call collect today.
Last year, Tony Martin had almost half of the Chargers' offensive touchdowns. He had 14. He caught 4 balls today. 3 for touches as the Bolts beat the Ravens. Tony Martin gets my game ball. Stu?
My game ball goes to Brad Culpepper, the Bucs defensive lineman. 3 sacks and 1. 3 sacks, 3 tackles, Bucs 5-0.
And my game ball goes to Cordell Stewart, showing his versatility this season. 4 touchdowns thrown, and he's run for 4, Chris.
Tom, you get to vote for your game ball. You already voted here, but on ESPN.com, the results will be on SportsCenter after the kart race. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Something big has happened. 1-800-COLLECT has once again revolutionized collect calling. Introducing 10 cents a minute collect.
Since Earl Campbell, and that's saying a mouthful.
Wisconsin Northwestern, Saturday night at 7, only on ESPN.
NFL Primetime is brought to you by Levi's Jeans. They go on.
All right, the Week 5 honor rolls. Here we go. Rushers. Adrian Morrell, 40 for $156. Napoleon Kaufman, 149. Barry Sanders, 139. What a surprise. All 3 of these teams won the game, as did Terry Allen. Raymond Harris did not with the Bears. Dorsey Levens did not with the Pack. But the top 4 rushing performances, their teams won. 300-yard games throwing. Stan Humphries had 3 touchdowns to Tony Martin. Kent Graham had a good game throwing. The Cards lost to the Bucs. Receiving. Robert Brooks, 9 for $164, and the Packers lost. We told you about Tony Martin. Rob Moore had a big game, and the Cards lost at the Big Sombrero. Shannon Sharp had 6, including a touch for the Bronx. Amp Lee did it amply, but the Rams lost to the Raiders. Herman's Moore, 6 for $105, and the Lions win. Michael Irvin also had $105. Prime Monday, backstage with Kevin Green, the former Panther returns as a 49er to face his old mate, Mike and the gang. 90 minutes at 7:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night. Then, are you ready for some football? The first ever Monday night game at the Big E. The Panthers hosting the 49ers. Panthers swept the Niners last year, but San Francisco wants to make a statement and regain the NFC West. Well, Stu and Tommy, this is a day in football that I don't know how many conclusions you can draw, except, are we nearing the possibility that the AFC could win a Super Bowl? Because I haven't seen anything that impressive in the NFC yet. Admittedly, the Bucs are 5-0.
And still undefeated New England, undefeated Denver, Jacksonville, a good, solid football team. So the quality of play at the top would appear to be in the favor of the AFC, but I say that very cautiously.
It is early. It is just late September. And I've said it all week, but I do it every year. We really should be back at school. Some of those teams, too. Hope you enjoyed the show. For Stuart Scott, Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks.